Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private. I made sure of that. I won't send a naked picture, a naked video, anything because it may possibly get out and I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares?
Well, you may have seen me out, but I would never put myself in a position to get hurt or be caught. I would never hold hands or do anything improper in public. So everything I did personally was private, and I made sure of that. I wouldn't send a naked picture or a video, nothing that could possibly leak, because I didn't want to take that chance back then. Now, who cares? But back then, it mattered. Da Brat had always been the strong, confident one, a woman who built her career with her own hands and carved out a name for herself in the music industry. She had fought hard for everything she had, and she wasn't one to back down. Yet when it came to love, things weren't so clear-cut. She had everything she thought she needed in life, except for one thing: Judy. Judy, the woman who stood by her side through thick and thin. Judy, the one who made her heart race every time she walked into a room. But now, that love was slipping away. The reason? Judy wanted something Da Brat couldn't give. She wanted a family. That truth hit Da Brat like a ton of bricks. Judy had been patient, loving, and endlessly understanding. But as time passed, it became clear their futures weren't aligned. Judy dreamed of a family at the center of her life, while Da Brat had always intertwined love with career, never fully ready to embrace motherhood. That gap between them widened with every passing day, until Judy finally made the painful decision to walk away. It wasn't an easy choice, but it was the only one left. And now, Da Brat was left to face the devastating truth: the love of her life was slipping through her hands because she wasn't ready to take the next step.
Love Judy.
I'm Jessica Dupart. A lot of people know me as Judy. I am the owner of Kaleidoscope Hair Products. To date, the company's probably made close to $40 million. Also birthed Kaleidoscope Realty, Kaleidoscope Management, Kaleidoscope Cares, Kaleidoscope Shipping and Receiving. Yeah.
The pain was almost unbearable. Da Brat had always been driven by her career, her music, her brand, and her identity. She had built everything she had from the ground up, a woman who fought her way into an industry that wasn't kind, carving out respect where none was freely given. But now she had to face the possibility of losing the one person who had been there through it all. Judy wasn't just a partner, she was her rock, her balance, the quiet in her storm. Yet the demands of life, love, and career had finally taken their toll, pulling them in opposite directions. Judy had always been upfront about her dreams. She wanted a family, a home, and children to love. For years, she had hoped that Da Brat would come around, that one day she would look beyond the stage lights and the endless hustle and be ready to settle down. But Da Brat hadn't. She wasn't ready for that kind of commitment, not then. The thought of slowing down, of putting down roots and taking on a responsibility that could never be set aside, terrified her. She had always been a fighter, always chasing the next big opportunity, always afraid that stopping would mean losing everything she had worked for. Judy, on the other hand, longed for stability, a safe place to call home, and a future built on more than awards and accolades. It broke Da Brat's heart to realize that the woman she loved might walk away simply because she couldn't give her what she needed most. Looking back, Da Brat saw how much she had taken for granted. In the beginning, everything between them had felt perfect: shared dreams, laughter, and unwavering support. Judy made her feel understood in ways no one else ever had. But as the years went on, the pressure of balancing love and career grew heavier. Da Brat threw herself into work tours, recording sessions, appearances, pushing herself harder and harder, while Judy's dream of a family remained just out of reach. Slowly but surely, that dream became the wedge between them. Judy wanted more than promises. She wanted children, a home filled with love, a partner ready to share the burden of building a family. Da Brat loved her fiercely, but the thought of sacrificing her momentum, of letting go of the only life she had ever known, was terrifying. The distance grew, and eventually Judy made the heartbreaking choice to walk away. For Da Brat, it was devastating. She turned to her family for strength, but even there she found little comfort. Her sister, Lisarae, who had always been vocal about Da Brat's relationships, could only remind her that love sometimes required sacrifices. The rift between Da Brat's career ambitions and her personal life was now too wide to ignore, and for the first time in a long time, she realized that even success couldn't protect her from heartbreak.
I'm Da Brat, the first female rapper to ever sell 1 million records. I'm out the closet, living out loud with my baby, doing whatever I want to do because I love
Da
you.
Brat wasn't just losing a partner. She was losing the possibility of a future she had never even allowed herself to imagine. Judy's decision to leave was one that, deep down, many people around them saw coming, but no one wanted to acknowledge. On the surface, Da Brat had it all together: music, fame, success, and the energy of someone who had been a fighter all her life. But inside, she was torn apart. LisaRaye, her sister and one of the closest people to her, could see the cracks forming long before the world did. She watched as Da Brat tried to keep her emotions in check, hiding the heartbreak behind her usual strength and confidence. But this wasn't a storm that could be fought with attitude or determination. This was personal. This was about love, the kind of love that made you question everything about who you were and what you really wanted. Da Brat was heartbroken, and no matter how much support LisaRaye offered, there was no quick fix. You can patch up a career, setback, you can rebrand after bad press, you can bounce back after a flop. But when it comes to love, real, deep love, there are no shortcuts. There's only pain, growth, and acceptance. When news of the breakup went public, fans were left stunned. For so long, Da Brat and Judy had been a couple that people admired. They looked like a love story straight out of a dream to powerful women standing together through the ups and downs, proving that love could survive in the spotlight. Social media lit up with reactions. Some fans were devastated, others confused. How could two people who seemed so connected just fall apart? And of course, the blame game began. Some pointed fingers at Da Brat, accusing her of prioritizing her career over the love of her life. They claimed she had always been focused on the music, the stage, the hustle. Others turned the criticism toward Judy, saying she should have been more patient, more understanding of the pressures Da Brat faced every day. But no matter what side people took, the truth was more complicated than anyone online could grasp. Their relationship wasn't a fairy tale. It was real, raw, and layered with passion, struggles, and unspoken fears. Yes, there was love, but there were also dreams that didn't align, needs that weren't being met, and a clock ticking in the background that neither of them could silence. Judy wanted stability. She wanted a family, a foundation, a future that was rooted in something deeper than tours and late nights in the studio. And Da Brat, despite all her love for Judy, wasn't ready to take that leap. That's where the heartbreak hit hardest. It wasn't about betrayal. It wasn't about falling out of love. It was about timing, readiness, and the willingness or unwillingness to compromise. And in the end, love alone wasn't enough. Da Brat's pivotal moment came. Not on stage, not in an interview, but in the quiet after Judy was gone. For weeks, she had drowned herself in distractions, studio sessions, public appearances, endless commitments. But silence has a way of catching up with you. And when it did, Da Brat was forced to face the truth she had been avoiding for years. The pain of losing Judy was unlike anything she had experienced. She realized that, for so long, she had hidden behind her career, using her drive and ambition as armor against her deepest fear: commitment. It wasn't that she didn't love Judy. She did, but she had been terrified of what Judy represented: stability, vulnerability, and the unknown territory of building a family. Da Brat had always been in control of her path. She fought tooth and nail to earn respect in an industry that didn't always welcome women, let alone openly gay women. She built her empire from scratch, pushed through barriers, and proved herself time and again. But that same control, that same determination, came with a price. By holding so tightly to her career, she had unknowingly pushed away the one person who had loved her without conditions. Judy had always been her rock, the one who stood by her even when the world didn't. Losing her wasn't just losing a partner, it was losing that anchor. The emptiness was unbearable, but strangely, that pain also became a turning point. For the first time, Da Brat had to confront her own insecurities head-on. She realized that all the awards, recognition, and accolades meant nothing if she didn't have balance. Success could fill her bank account, but it couldn't fill the loneliness that crept in when the stage lights dimmed. Her career had consumed her, and in doing so, it had consumed her relationship. That was the bitter truth. And now, standing in the aftermath of it all, Da Brat was left questioning everything. Did she really value her career above all else? Or had she been running from her own fears, convincing herself that she wasn't cut out for the life Judy dreamed of? The breakup forced her to face those questions. It shattered her world, but it also opened her eyes to what she had been too afraid to admit, that love, intimacy, and connection were just as essential as success. Fans continued to speculate, holding on to hope for reconciliation. Could Da Brat and Judy find their way back to each other? Was there still a chance for them to rebuild? Da Brat herself wasn't sure. A part of her still clung to the hope of a second chance, but another part knew some damage couldn't be undone. And so the question now hangs in the air: what's next for Da Brat? Will she pour herself deeper into her career, using it as a shield against vulnerability? Or will she take this heartbreak as a wake-up call, a chance to find balance, and maybe even open herself up to the family and love Judy had once envisioned? For now, she's left to pick up the pieces of her broken heart, navigating an uncertain road ahead. Fans are watching, waiting, and wondering, will Da Brat find happiness again? Will this loss be the end of her love story or the beginning of something bigger? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: this isn't just another celebrity breakup. It's a reminder that behind the fame and glamour, real people face real struggles. And sometimes even love isn't enough to bridge the gap between dreams and reality. So, what do you think? Was Da Brat right to choose her career over starting a family with Judy? Or did she let fear rob her of the future she truly wanted? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Because this story, it's far from over.